Hi Liz, welcome here in Frankfurt. I know you come over from Singapore, so long traveling. Thank you to be here, the guest to talk on instant payments, the new European initiative. Maybe we introduce ourselves quickly. I'm Sven Korschinowski, responsible partner for payments innovation of German practice. And you, Liz, you're coming from UK. What are you doing there?
I'm a director in the KPMG UK. I look after, responsible for the payments practice in the UK, but I'm also a global subject matter expert for our payments practice around the world.
We would like to talk on instant payment today, and maybe to introduce to the topic. So the ERPV and the EPC decided to make the instant payments. I was wondering if we really do need in Europe instant payments, as we just introduced SEPA.
SEPA has been a great achievement across the whole of Europe, and a tremendous exercise that has kept us all busy really for very many years, and particularly the corporate market, to achieve that harmonization for the single market. At the same time that Europe was working on SEPA, other countries were working on two aspects, I think, in parallel. We have work going on the data side of payments. So how do I put more information and more relevant information into the payment messages? And the second thing is speeding them up. So trying to keep up with the pace of technology and the pace of customer expectations. And I think when I look back at SEPA, we really only managed to tackle, to the most part, one of those elements, which was harmonization and data. And we probably have achieved that or overachieved that, because you can put a huge amount of information now into a SEPA message. And we've managed to harmonize direct debit standards across 33 countries. I mean, that's an amazing thing to have managed to pull off. SEPA is a fantastic baseline, a bedrock to build from. It's something to enable the banking community to be able to network and move those payments across the entire EEA. Now we need to make it one more step forward and actually figure out how do we speed it up at the same time.
And I'm very interested that you very vividly say, yes, we need it, because when we talk to banks, or some banks today say or ask, what is a business case? How we can make money out of it? How can we price it? Who pays it?
The question really is, how do the banks evolve? How do you get back that interaction with your customer, with your client? And how do you facilitate their daily life so that they don't need to go and use another third party to do that transaction and to fulfill that obligation?
I would be very much interested to know a little bit more from the other markets. And you said maybe we start with the UK, and UK started a couple of years ago with faster payment. What was the reason to do so? And how did faster payment evolve in the last years?
The banks themselves sat down and figured out what this should look like. And that's where that 15 seconds came from in terms of the customer expectation and what was going to be possible. And then really from there, I think it feels like it took a long time at the beginning. It took us quite a while to figure out how to do it. But once the service was up and running, actually the use of faster payments has accelerated very rapidly. And the corporate market has really come on board. And I see the same thing will probably happen in most other countries, to be honest, because you have to start somewhere, and you have to start with a risk-based framework where the participating banks understand, they have to learn how to manage this new service and learn how to communicate with their customers.
Once you have implemented a system and the possibility to spend money on a fast, very instant way, the people will find new use cases. It's not only defining at initial point 10 use cases and make a business case around that. It's having it, using it, and finding more and more use cases. That's what I've heard from the UK, it better. I've heard it from Denmark with mobile pay. I think this will be true for instant payments too.
It's a little bit like all of the new airlines flying around Europe. Who would believe that we would have all these flights to very small locations in the south of France or Eastern Europe many years ago? Now we see it's enabled an explosion in tourism, and it's enabled trade, and it's enabled people to move around Europe properly. To me, payments is a very similar experience. It's about the network and providing the infrastructure so that people can get there. What they do when they get there is really something that we will only experience once this takes off. So what we've seen with faster payments, particularly in the UK, and I think we've seen it also in Singapore and in South Africa and even in Mexico, people start to build businesses around it. So they realize that actually I can sell goods and services today that if I can get the money from you and you can't pull it back, there's no chargebacks, then I'm happy to provide you with a consumable, with something that actually, maybe you're going to eat whatever it is I've just sold you. I'm not going to get it back if you change your mind and you want your money back. So therefore I don't want a mechanism that you can charge back. So there's lots of really interesting examples we've seen.